Nong Njao, the property connoisseur. Welcome to Real Talks Njao. In this show, we talk about real estate and life. On this episode, I want to answer a question I get asked too often. Most people, especially first-time property buyers, come to me and ask me, Njao, do I buy a property or do I buy my first car? So today, I want to address that question. For us to address this question, we need to make a few assumptions. Assumption number one, we are going to assume that you are getting financed to either buy your first property or your first car, but you can only choose one. Number two, the maximum amount available to you is 2 million. Number three, you're going to cover your closing costs by yourself. Let me address this. So, I always believe in letting numbers be the guiding principle. So today, if you wanted to get an asset financed, meaning to get financed to buy a car, it's actually the easiest thing that can ever happen. Banks even do it in 30 seconds or less. So let us look at the numbers. For 2 million, if you're going to buy a property, you can get financed through the Kenya Mortgage Finance Company. Under KMRC, your interest rate will be capped at less than 10% and it will be fixed throughout the entirety of your tenure. The tenure for a property is between 12 years to 25 years, depending on your employment. Now let's look at the asset finance. For asset finance, the maximum period you get is between 4 to 6 years, and the interest rate is between 13 to 15%. The biggest difference in interest is that for the asset finance, it's a floating interest rate, meaning it changes. Next year, it might go up or go down, so you can never really plan in advance. But for the KMRC-backed mortgage, it's a fixed figure that you pay throughout the entirety. Now let's look at the number. So like I said, we are assuming you're getting 2 million maximum. So if you go to a bank and you want a car worth 2 million, they'll require you to do at least 20%. So that is 400K. If you go to a property, they can finance you the entire amount. So if you go the property way, you might not need to foot any cost with regards to the house. Number two, let us look at closing costs. Closing costs refers to other expenses related to acquiring a property. For instance, when you're buying a house, you need to pay for legal fees, you need to pay for stamp duty, you need to pay for utility deposit and a whole bunch of stuff. Usually it's between 6 to 8%. Coming to the car, you also need to pay valuation and you need to pay insurance and you need to pay a lot of other things, which is also 6 to 8%. So when it comes to closing costs, they are more or less the same. Now let's look at repayment. If you take a 2 million loan to buy a house under KMRC, I'm assuming you are self-employed, so you get 12 years. For these 12 years, you're going to be paying 17,000 per month. This house that you bought for 2 million is going to give you a rental income of at least 15K after you take out the service charge. So the house is an asset because it's earning you money. Let's look at the car. Now this is where the car loses entirely. The car is not an asset. It's not a capital asset. It's an asset but not a capital asset because it's not generating you money. So you need actually to be spending money on this car. Things like fuel, things like service. So let's put a ballpark figure of about 15K per month. So on one hand, the property is giving you 15K per month. On the other, the car is taking away 15K per month from you. Now let's look at the total interest you'll have paid. At the end of these 12 years, you'll have paid a total interest of around 970,000 to 1 million to pay back the financier. For the car, because it's a shorter payment period, the interest will be less at around 650K. So now that the numbers are out, what do you think? Will you buy your first car or your first property? Here's my take. The numbers support that taking the first property will do you good in the long run. But this is what the numbers don't tell you. A car will take you places. There is this famous saying that goes around, you can sleep in your car, but you can't drive your house. Personally, I own both. I started with an apartment first, then the car came later. But for me, I had the advantage being in the real estate industry. I was able to negotiate a very fair rate for myself. But for you, who might not have the same advantage that I have, I feel like the car has an advantage that is not number or monetary. Waswahili wanasemanga kutembea kwingi ni kuona mengi. I oftentimes wake up in the middle of the night, me and my wife feel like driving to the coast, and just like that, we're on our way to Malindi. You can't do that if you don't have a car. The car will allow you to travel, it will allow you to meet people, and it will allow you to explore. So at the end of the day, outside the numbers, it's basically a personal choice. Do you want to create memories with the car, or do you want to build your financial muscles with the property? Either way, there is no wrong answer. Both of these assets are good assets, and each of them has its own advantages. So that was Ndongo Njau with Real Talks. See you on the next one.